Never before has Pixar taken so long to make a sequel as they did with Incredibles 2, but the 14-year wait was well worth it. The movie is jaw-droppingly gorgeous, with style to spare and action sequences so tense, you forget that nothing on the screen is actually real. With Incredibles 2 clocking in as the longest Pixar movie to date, you can't say you didn't get your money's worth. Also, Pixar has plugged a mind-boggling number of Easter eggs and references into the movie to reward sharp eyes and repeat viewings. It's all but impossible to catch them all the first time around. Whether you've seen the movie and are wondering what you missed or are going to see the movie and want to be prepared, here are the Easter eggs we caught in Incredibles 2. And, of course, spoilers ahead. Baby Mozart. Edna Mode and Jack Jack Parr are the best team-up Incredibles 2 has to offer. Edna, the icy inventor and costume designer, is completely won over by the little superhero when she sees the breadth of his powers. And the duo ends up spending hours together while Mr. Incredible gets some rest. When Bob returns to pick up Jack Jack, Edna mentions that the boy has taken a liking to the music of Mozart. It's not a random reference. When it comes to classical composers, Jack Jack has an established preference. In the 2005 short film Jack Jack Attack, Jack Jack's babysitter sets up a number of neurologically stimulating activities for the baby, and the selection includes a Mozart CD. Turns out the music really does bring something out in Jack Jack, inspiring him to make the babysitter really earn her pay by destroying the entire house. There's clearly something to Mozart's music that brings out the monster in the little man, and naturally, Edna loves that. Smelling rats. One of Pixar's longest-running Easter eggs involves actor John Ratzenberger, whose voice appears in every Pixar movie. He's got an even better record for appearances than the storied Pizza Planet truck. Since his first appearance as Ham the Piggy Bank in Toy Story, Ratzenberger has been a sort of good luck charm for Pixar. In The Incredibles, he lent his voice to the villainous Underminer, who drilled up from beneath the Earth's surface at the end of the film. Since Incredibles 2 picks up exactly where the first left off, Ratzenberger remains in the mix for the second round. He lives to fight another day too, which unexpectedly makes the Underminer Incredibles 2's biggest sequel hook. Seeing the Underminer near the end of the credits' stylized summary of the movie's events reminds us that he's still at large. So if an Incredibles 3 does happen, it's a good bet that the Underminer will be back for another showdown. A113. One of the most famous Pixar Easter eggs is also one of the easiest to miss. A113 is a short sequence of letters and numbers that does not, on its own, mean anything. So why has it appeared in so many movies? The sequence refers to a specific classroom at the California Institute of the Arts, where many influential animators and filmmakers attended college. It's not just a Pixar reference either. A113 has also appeared in movies and TV shows from Family Guy to the Hunger Games sequel. Since the Easter egg is so inconspicuous, it pops up a lot throughout Incredibles 2. It appears on the side of a runaway train, shows up on the license plate, and turns up on the theater marquee at the end of the movie. And that's just a few examples. It's fitting that the reference would show up in Incredibles 2, considering that writer-director Brad Bird is the one who started the tradition over 30 years ago in an episode of the show Amazing Stories. Safari Court. After an exploding jet falls on their home during the climax of The Incredibles, the sequel sees the family living in a throwback-style motel called Safari Court. The distinctive, familiar-looking building is recognizable for a reason. It's based on a real place. The Parr's temporary residence is clearly modeled after the Safari Inn, a semi-famous hotel in Burbank, California, located only a few streets away from Walt Disney Studios. Clearly, the photogenic location made an impression on the filmmakers, and they wouldn't be the first ones to use it. The inn has hosted scenes in popular movies and a ton of TV shows. Its weird ubiquity in pop culture makes it the landmark equivalent of a familiar face, beautifully recreated in Incredibles 2. Evelyn Dever's Evil Endeavors. Incredibles 2 doesn't try all that hard to hide the fact that the brilliant Evelyn Dever is actually the movie's true villain. One of the most telling hints as to her true nature? That would be her name. Instead of reading her name as Evelyn, pronounce her name as Evil. Say it all at once and it sounds like Evil Endeavor, which pretty much says it all, right? In any case, it's enough evidence to let an engaged viewer see the plot turn coming from miles away. The real twist, by comparison, is that Evelyn's brother Winston actually turns out to be a pretty solid guy. New math for life. Bob's difficulty in helping Dash with his math homework is one of the funniest gags in Incredibles 2, and it hits the hardest for parents around Bob's age. In case you haven't been around an intermediate school math class for a while, you may be surprised to learn that they really did change math, whoever they are.
I don't know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math. Math is math.
It's not just about Bob being clueless. Dash's New Math for Life textbook and its indecipherable problem-solving methods are a reference to the often confusing Common Core method of learning and doing arithmetic. The competing old and new approaches have been fueling debates among parents and teachers for years. So if you hear some grown-ups laughing particularly loudly at the movie's homework sequence, the Common Core callout is probably what got them. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.